Before you close your eyes tonight, take a moment to feel the invisible rhythm around you. The earth is alive with motion, a slow, endless dance of elements, each moving, shaping, and whispering to the next. Air swirls above oceans. Fire sleeps within the planet's heart. Water travels from mountain to sky. Gravity pulls every leaf, every wave, every heartbeat toward its home. Tonight, you'll drift through these quiet forces. The soft breath of wind, the patient strength of stone, the glow of fire, the endless flow of water. Each one speaks, if you listen closely enough. Each one cradles you in its rhythm, guiding you deeper into stillness, into peace, into sleep. The invisible ocean, the air that surrounds you, is an ocean, vast, weighty, and in constant motion. You live at the bottom of it, moving through its currents just as fish move through water. Every breath you take is part of a circulation that began long before humans existed. Air rising over deserts, twisting over seas, curling into storms, then settling back to calm. The gentle breeze that brushes your skin tonight may have once passed over forests, cities, or distant mountains. You breathe in the world's memory, a soft, invisible tide that has touched everything, everywhere. The whisper of wind is the voice of air finding balance. It moves from where pressure is high to where it is low, seeking harmony just as water flows downhill. Every gust, every sigh of breeze against trees, is the planet exhaling. The patterns you hear outside your window, the rustle of leaves, the hum of branches, the faint moan through a crack, are all part of a vast equilibrium, constantly restoring peace between places. The wind's whisper is not random. It's the earth breathing in rhythm with itself. The weight of nothing, though invisible, air has weight, a soft yet immense presence pressing gently against everything. Every square inch of your skin feels the embrace of this pressure, even now. You do not notice it because your body has always known it, has always lived inside it. This constant, quiet weight is grounding, a reminder that even emptiness is full, that even what seems light has strength. As you breathe, your body and the atmosphere exchange trust, an unbroken balance that sustains life with every inhalation and every sigh. The journey of a breeze, single breeze, can travel across the world. It might begin as warm air lifting from a sunlit plain, climbing higher until it cools, drifting thousands of miles before descending again as a gentle wind on another continent. The air that moves through your window tonight may have once touched the salt of an ocean or carried the scent of distant rain. The world is constantly sharing itself through the sky, every gust a traveler, every breeze a messenger of somewhere else. The symphony of the sky, if you listen deeply. The air is full of music. Every sound, from a whisper to a storm, moves through it in waves, carrying stories from one place to another. Thunder is the voice of expanding air, wind the song of balance, birds the fleeting notes of life riding invisible currents. Even silence is not empty. It's filled with the faint hum of air vibrating gently around you. This symphony never stops. It only softens when you rest. The calm between storms, nature always returns to stillness. After every gust, every storm, every whirlwind, the air eventually settles, balancing its pressures until peace returns. The calm that follows is not absence but harmony restored. It's the earth exhaling, whispering that every moment of turbulence finds its rest. When you breathe deeply, you join that rhythm, moving from chaos to calm, from noise to quiet, from day into the slow peace of night. The secret of clouds are air made visible, water vapor held in suspension, shimmering with sunlight. They are light enough to float yet heavy enough to fall as rain. Each cloud is a delicate balance between rise and release, warmth and coolness, fullness and letting go. Watching them drift is like watching thought itself, always moving, changing, forming, dissolving. The sky is the mind of the planet, and clouds are its dreams. The breath of trees, every inhale you take carries a trace of green. Trees, grasses, and even ocean algae release the oxygen that sustains you, exhaling life into the atmosphere. In return, you breathe out carbon dioxide, the air that nourishes them. It's a quiet exchange, continuous and eternal. The forest breathes with you, in perfect rhythm, one vast, invisible partnership between every living thing. The edge of a storm. When a storm gathers, the air tells you before the clouds do. You can feel the pressure drop, the static rising, the faint metallic scent of charged ions. Nature warns softly, giving the body time to prepare. Even animals know this shift. Birds fall silent, insects hide, and trees brace. Yet once the storm passes, the air feels reborn, cleansed, bright, new. Each storm is the sky's way of clearing its heart, returning to balance after a moment of beautiful chaos. The night wind. At night, the wind changes its voice. Without the heat of the sun, air cools and sinks, moving softly across the ground like a low, whispering tide. It carries the sense of earth and distant rain, a reminder that even in darkness, the world moves gently. The night wind is the planet's lullaby, slow, rhythmic, eternal, soothing the land, the trees, and you as you drift toward dreams. The memory of water. Water remembers. Every drop that touches your skin tonight has traveled an ancient path, falling as rain thousands of years ago, frozen into glaciers, melted into rivers, lifted into clouds, and returned again. The molecules that move through your glass, your veins, the clouds above you, have likely once flowed through oceans and forests, through the roots of trees and the bodies of animals long gone. Water is the great storyteller of the planet. It carries the memory of mountains, the salt of tears, the rhythm of tides. And as it moves, it erases nothing. It only transforms, quietly collecting stories from every corner of the earth. To touch water is to touch time itself. The first rain. When rain begins to fall, it awakens something deep within us, a sense older than language. The air cools, darkens, and the first drops make their soft percussion against the world. Each drop is born from the sky's surrender, from vapor condensed into liquid, released at last. As it touches soil, stone, leaf, and skin, it connects heaven to earth again. That scent, the sweet, earthy perfume of rain, is called petrichor, formed when water releases oils and minerals from the waiting ground. It's the fragrance of renewal, a whisper from the planet that everything can begin again, no matter how long the drought has lasted. The river's patience. A river is time in motion. It carves stone not through violence but persistence, soft, gentle, unending persistence. It begins as a whisper of melting snow, a trickle from unseen springs, gathering strength as it moves downhill. Along its way it nurtures valleys, feeds forests, gives drink to everything it meets, and never once questions its path. The river doesn't rush to reach the sea. It simply flows, certain that it will arrive. In its patience lies its power. It teaches that progress need not be hurried, only constant, only faithful. Every ripple you hear is the sound of surrender to purpose. The song beneath the waves. The ocean is never silent. Beneath the surface, a symphony hums, the clicks of whales echoing across continents, the crackle of coral reefs alive with life, the pulse of waves pressing into sand. These sounds travel farther than any human voice, moving through the deep like heartbeat and breath. The ocean sings to itself endlessly, carrying news of the world through vibrations unseen. When you stand near the shore and listen to the crash and pull of the waves, you're hearing not noise, but music, the world's oldest rhythm, the endless lullaby of water meeting earth. The gift of waves. Every wave begins with a breath of wind. What seems like chaos on the surface of the ocean is in fact perfect order. Air transferring energy into water, water carrying that energy until it meets resistance, and then releasing it again in a curl of white foam. Waves are not separate from the wind. They are its memory made visible. They roll across thousands of miles, gathering the whispers of every breeze that touched them. To watch them is to see invisible forces given form, energy translated into grace, sound into motion, thought into rhythm. Every crest and crash is the universe expressing balance. The rain's secret journey. When you feel rain on your face, you are catching the final moment of a drop's long, mysterious journey. Born from vapor in the sky, the drop grows heavy as it gathers moisture, dancing with gravity in its descent. Some evaporate before they ever touch the ground, a phenomenon called virga, rain that falls but never arrives, vanishing midair. Others reach earth and sink into soil, feeding roots, trickling through layers of rock until they join unseen rivers underground. No raindrop is wasted. Each one finds its way back into the cycle, part of the eternal conversation between sky and soil. The heartbeat of the ocean deep beneath the waves, far below the reach of light, the ocean beats like a living heart. Currents move slowly, carrying warm water toward the poles and cold water back toward the equator, circulating energy and life across the planet. This global pulse is called the thermohaline circulation, and it takes centuries to complete a single loop. The ocean's heartbeat keeps the world in balance, regulating temperature, nurturing plankton, shaping climate. Even as you sleep, that deep rhythm continues, a pulse beneath all living things, steady and ancient, older than memory itself. The tranquility of still water, a calm lake, reflects the sky not because it is lifeless, but because it is perfectly in tune. Beneath its glassy surface, life thrives in quiet motion. Fish gliding through dark water, reeds swaying gently, the surface breathing with each subtle gust. The reflection you see is harmony, the meeting of stillness and movement, light and shadow. When water is calm, it becomes a mirror not only of the sky, but of yourself. It invites you to slow down, to see how peace is not the absence of motion, but the mastery of it. The lake teaches that serenity is found not by stopping, but by aligning. The salt of the sea, every drop of ocean water carries the memory of the earth's birth. Its salt comes from rock, minerals dissolved over eons, carried down by rivers and streams, gathered in the basins of the world. Each wave that rises and falls contains traces of mountains long eroded, of rivers long dried, of volcanic stone once aflame. To taste the ocean is to taste the planet's history. Its salt is the essence of endurance, a record of everything that has fallen and flowed, still moving, still alive. That's why the sea feels eternal, because in truth it is. The endless circle when water evaporates from the sea, rises into clouds, falls as rain and returns again, it completes one of nature's oldest cycles, a loop that has turned since before the first life appeared. The same molecules that once filled the lungs of ancient creatures now drift above you as mist or fall as snow. The circle never ends, it only changes form. Water teaches us that transformation is not loss, it's continuation. Nothing truly disappears. It only moves, shifts, evolves. And so, like the tides, like the seasons, like breath itself, all things return home in time. The lull of the tides are the ocean's slow breathing, a rise and fall guided by the pull of the moon. Every 12 hours or so, the sea inhales and exhales, advancing gently onto shore, then retreating into the depths. To watch the tide is to watch gravity made visible, the moon's silent conversation with Earth. This rhythm never stops, not for a single day in billions of years. It's the planet's reminder that even the most powerful forces move in cycles, in calm repetition. When you listen to the sea breathe, you're hearing the same rhythm your heart follows when it finally rests. The tears of the sky rain is not sadness, it's release. When the sky becomes too heavy with moisture, it weeps softly, letting go of what it can no longer hold. Every storm is a lesson in letting go gracefully, in falling without fear, in nourishing what lies below. As drops strike soil and leaf, they awaken life, carrying nutrients, stirring roots from sleep. The next time rain falls around you, close your eyes and listen. It's not the sound of sorrow, but renewal, the sound of nature forgiving itself. The power of ice at the planet's poles. Frozen water stands as stillness made solid. Glaciers, though they seem unmoving, are alive. Rivers of ice that flow slower than thought, reshaping the world grain by grain. They hold within them the breath of ancient air, tiny bubbles trapped for millennia, storing the memory of old climates, old skies. When they melt, they release history, whispers from times before humanity. Ice is the patience of water, the embodiment of waiting, the proof that even stillness has strength. The meeting of river and sea, where a river meets the ocean, something magical happens. Fresh water, cool and clear, merges with salt, dense and ancient. The two dance, swirling, mingling, resisting and yielding, until they find balance. These meeting places, called estuaries, are among the richest ecosystems on Earth, full of life that thrives on the harmony of opposites. They remind us that contrast is not conflict. It's creation. When two forces meet, something new is born. When you find balance between your own inner rivers and seas, between calm and passion, between stillness and motion, life begins to flourish again. The ocean at night, when night falls over the sea, it glows. Tiny plankton, disturbed by waves or passing creatures, release light in bioluminescence, a soft blue shimmer that turns darkness into living starlight. Sailors once called it the sea's soul, believing it to be the ocean dreaming. To stand on a beach and watch the waves glow faintly beneath the moon is to see life and light intertwine. Even in the deepest night, the ocean keeps shining quietly, reminding you that no darkness is ever complete. Something always glows beneath the surface, waiting to be seen. The sleeping fire beneath your feet, beneath the solid ground, lies a world of molten motion, vast rivers of magma slowly circulating in silence, shaping continents without sound or haste. Every mountain, every grain of sand, was once born of this sleeping fire. Though we call the earth solid, it breathes heat like a living creature, its heart glowing thousands of degrees beneath the crust. This hidden warmth keeps the world alive. It stirs the air, moves the oceans, grows the soil. The next time you walk barefoot on the earth, remember, beneath you the planet is dreaming in fire. The breath of the volcano. When a volcano awakens, it's not an act of rage, it's exhalation. Pressure that has gathered for centuries finally finds release, sending plumes of ash and rivers of lava into the sky. In those brief, terrifying moments, the earth reminds us that destruction and creation are twins. The same eruption that flattens forests also gives birth to new land, fertile and raw. The black soil left behind will one day nurture green life again. Even fire, in its fiercest form, is simply the earth reshaping itself, not in anger but in renewal. The glow of ember fire has always called to us, a flicker in the dark that became home, safety, and story. Before language, our ancestors gathered around it, watching sparks rise into the night like wandering stars. The soft hiss of burning wood, the rhythm of flame bending and dancing, it's more than warmth, it's memory. Every ember is a sun in miniature, carrying the same energy that fuels the stars. When you watch a fire fade, you're witnessing the universe in slow motion, creation turning to ash, light returning to dark, in the endless cycle of becoming and release. The gentle power of heat is invisible, yet it moves everything. It drives winds, grows forests, melts ice, and paints the colors of the dawn. Every sunrise begins with a touch of warmth, spreading across oceans and land like a hand smoothing the fabric of the world. Even the smallest spark, the warmth of a breath, a candle's flame, is a reminder of the energy that binds us all. Heat is comfort, energy, life. Without it, the planet would fall silent, the oceans would freeze, and the rhythm of existence would fade into stillness. Every flicker of warmth is the earth whispering, "You are alive." The fire inside you, the same fire that burns in the heart of the earth, burns inside you. Every heartbeat, every cell that divides, every thought that sparks across your mind is powered by invisible combustion, energy transformed from sunlight into life. You carry within you the memory of the first flame that ever flickered across the universe. When you feel warmth in your chest, it's not just emotion, it's the quiet echo of creation, still burning softly, reminding you that you too are made of stars. The light of the sun does not rise. The earth turns toward it, seeking its warmth like a lover returning to embrace. From 93 million miles away, its light crosses space in 8 minutes, touching oceans, forests, faces, and flowers. Every color you see, every movement of air, every sound of life is powered by that single steady star. Its light fuels the rhythm of time itself, morning, noon, dusk, and the quiet cool of night. To bask in sunlight is to feel the universe's oldest gesture of affection, steady, endless, and impossibly far, yet always here. The dance of flame. Watch a candle. Notice how it bends, flickers, and sways as though it breathes. That is flame's nature. Alive, restless, graceful. It feeds on oxygen, drinks air, exhales smoke. Within that small dance lies the story of transformation, matter becoming energy, darkness becoming light. It burns without memory, without fear, existing only in the moment of being. There's a lesson in that life itself is a flicker, fragile yet bright, and that beauty is found not in lasting forever, but in glowing while we can. The birth of lightning high above the clouds, the sky churns with invisible electricity, a gathering of tension, a silent waiting. When lightning strikes, it is not anger but release, nature balancing its own charge. For a fraction of a second, the air becomes hotter than the surface of the sun, light tears through darkness, and thunder rolls in its wake. Yet even this fierce power is fleeting, gone before the mind can hold it. Lightning is the world's reminder that even chaos can be beautiful, and that release, no matter how sudden, brings peace. The fire in the sky sunsets are the Earth's way of exhaling light. As the sun lowers, its rays stretch through more of the atmosphere, scattering short blue wavelengths and leaving behind the golds, reds, and violets that make evening shimmer. Each sunset you've ever seen is unique. No sky will ever hold those exact colors again. For a few minutes each day, the world slows, the air thickens with color, and the line between heaven and earth blurs. Watching a sunset is like watching the universe paint. Slowly, lovingly, just for you. The warmth of the hearth fire once meant survival. It cooked food, warded off cold, and turned darkness into safety. Yet even now, in a world of electricity and screens, the sight of a flame soothes something ancient in us. Sitting by a fire, listening to its gentle crackle, watching sparks drift upward, it brings us home to that primal circle of warmth and story. The hearth has always been humanity's heart, not for the heat alone, but for the feeling of togetherness it creates. Around every flame there is community, memory, and peace. The core's eternal glow at the planet's center. Iron churns in molten waves, spinning and grinding, generating a magnetic field that shields every living thing from solar winds. This unseen force is why compasses point north, why birds can navigate the skies, why the atmosphere clings to Earth at all. The core's glow is invisible, but it protects us constantly. Deep within the dark, the planet's heart hums, unseen yet essential, like your own heart, working quietly, endlessly, keeping life safe above. The heat of creation long before Earth cooled, it was a sphere of liquid fire, a world too hot for oceans or air. Over billions of years, it exhaled, releasing steam, forming clouds, rain, rivers, and the first whispers of life. Every drop of water and grain of soil we know was once part of that fire. Even now, volcanic islands rise from the ocean floor, repeating the planet's first act of creation. Fire, it seems, never truly ends. It only changes form, from molten rock to green forest, from destruction to birth. Creation, in all its beauty, begins in heat. The whisper of steam is the gentlest face of fire, water touched by heat, rising like spirit from body. Curls, dances, disappears. In ancient times, people watched it rise from springs and geysers and believed it was the breath of the earth itself. Even now, when you see fog drift over warm ground or vapor curl from a cup of tea, you are seeing transformation made visible. The moment matter learns to let go. There's something peaceful in that. The idea that even water under fire's touch becomes light enough to float away. The flame that never dies. In remote caves and beneath ancient temples, natural gas seeps from the earth and ignites. Eternal flames that have burned for thousands of years. Some cultures call them the breath of gods. Others, the soul of the planet. They remind us that Earth is not still. It is alive, constantly exhaling. These flames may flicker unseen in the wilderness, but they are proof of the same quiet force that stirs within you. Persistence, warmth, and light that endures even in darkness. The ember of dawn, every morning begins with a faint ember on the horizon. The world, still cool and quiet, waits for the first spark of light. And then, slowly, the darkness fades. Not because it is destroyed, but because it transforms. That is dawn's secret. It doesn't fight the night, it simply reveals that the light was waiting all along. The first rays that touch your skin each morning are gentle echoes of the sun's original fire. Reminders that renewal is not loud or sudden, but tender, patient, and inevitable. Like the ember that glows after the flame, You, too, carry the warmth of beginnings. The breath of the world, the air that fills your lungs in this moment, has drifted across oceans and mountains, through forests and over cities, for millions of years. Each breath you take contains molecules once inhaled by ancient trees, exhaled by long-forgotten creatures, carried by winds that circled the planet countless times. The air never truly disappears. It moves, changes, and returns, a silent rhythm that connects every living thing. In the stillness of night, when you breathe slowly and the world seems to rest, you are sharing the same breath as the oceans, the clouds, and the stars. The atmosphere is not empty space. It is a living sea, invisible and infinite, wrapping the planet in its soft, unseen arms. The first wind was born from imbalance. Warm air rising, cool air sinking, a dance between temperature and motion that never ended. From that first stirring came storms, seasons, weather, and change itself. Wind is Earth's messenger, carrying pollen, seeds, songs, and whispers across continents. It is the sculptor of dunes, the shaper of mountains, the voice of forests. When it brushes your skin, you are feeling the planet breathe. And though it can roar, it can also lull, moving gently through the trees like a hand smoothing tangled hair, reminding you that motion and peace can exist together. The sky's endless canvas, look up, and you are gazing into an illusion, a dome of color painted by light itself. The sky is not truly blue. It only appears so because sunlight scatters through molecules of air, spreading short blue wavelengths in every direction. At dawn and dusk, the colors shift, gold melting into violet, crimson into rose, as light passes through more of the atmosphere. Every sunrise and sunset is a new masterpiece, drawn and erased in a single breath of time. The sky is nature's mirror of mood, ever-changing, infinite, and always reaching toward calm. The whispering winds of the desert across endless dunes. The wind writes its own language in the sand. Each ripple and crest is a line in that silent script, drawn not by hand but by time. In the heat of day, it sighs softly across the surface. By night, it hums, carrying the cool of the stars. Travelers once followed the rhythm of that whisper to find direction when all landmarks vanished. The desert's wind is not harsh. It is ancient, patient, telling the same story it has told for thousands of years. That movement, no matter how subtle, can shape the strongest of stones. The music of the wind, if you listen closely, you will hear that wind is never silent. It hums through cracks, moans through canyons, sings through forests. The sound depends on what it touches, the branches of a tree, the cliffs of a mountain, the eaves of a home, each shaping its voice differently. This is the symphony of the unseen, air transformed into sound by the shape of the world. When you stand in a gentle breeze, hearing the soft rustle of leaves or the low hum between buildings, you are listening to the earth playing its own instrument, vast, unending, and beautifully improvised. The gift of the breeze is the tenderest touch the world can offer. It carries the scent of rain before it falls, the perfume of flowers opening to morning, the memory of faraway oceans. It cools your skin, stirs your hair, and moves through you like a sigh. It's the planet's way of reminding you to slow down, to feel rather than rush, to breathe rather than think. When you close your eyes and let a soft wind move across your face, you are sharing in one of nature's most delicate gestures of affection, unseen but deeply felt. The invisible river above your head, even now, the air is flowing in silent rivers, vast currents that carry warmth, moisture, and dust across the world. These invisible streams connect distant lands, linking the Amazon to Africa, the Sahara to the Atlantic. The dust that feeds a forest might have begun as grains of sand thousands of miles away. This unseen circulation sustains life itself. Clouds forming, storms gathering, rain falling. We walk beneath this movement unaware, but it is always there. The world's quiet heartbeat made of wind. The storms, patient storms, are not born of chaos. They are born of balance trying to return. Warm air rises, cool air descends, and the sky churns as it searches for peace. Every flash of lightning, every roll of thunder, is simply energy finding its way home. Within the storm's fury lies deep intention, to release, to equalize, to cleanse. When thunder rumbles in the distance, it's not anger you hear but restoration. The storm passes, and the air that follows is always softer, cooler, cleaner, like the calm after a long-held breath finally exhaled. The sky that holds memory. Every cloud you see is a story in motion, a gathering of vapor, dust, and light that has traveled far to take that shape. Some clouds carry water once frozen in glaciers, others form from oceans halfway across the world. Their drifting forms are constantly rewritten, the art of impermanence. And yet, though no two clouds are ever the same, their purpose remains: to rise, to fall, to return. To watch clouds move across the sky is to watch time itself drift, ever changing, never gone. The power of the gale's strength can bend trees, sculpt cliffs, and move entire oceans. Yet it too begins as a whisper of imbalance. It gathers slowly, breath by breath, until it becomes a force no one can see but everyone can feel. The power of wind is in its invisibility, a reminder that not all strength must be seen to be real. When a storm wind howls through the night, it may sound wild, but within it lies the same energy that spins the planet and carries the stars across the heavens. Power and peace, it seems, share the same source. The silence after the storm, after thunder fades and the rain grows still, the world holds its breath. Leaves glisten, soil sighs, and the air feels new, rinsed of dust and sound. That silence is sacred. It's the earth's pause between heartbeats. Animals emerge slowly, the wind softens, and for a moment everything is perfect, balanced. That hush, that fleeting calm, is nature's purest peace, the reminder that even after chaos, stillness always returns. The high air far above the clouds, where the air thins to almost nothing, the sky darkens to violet. The winds here are not breezes but roaring rivers, the jet streams that circle the planet at immense speeds, unseen from below. They carry weather across continents, guiding storms, shaping seasons. To imagine yourself floating there, high and weightless, is to feel the freedom of the unseen world, a place where sound disappears and only light remains. The language of clouds speak softly, but clearly if you learn to listen. A towering cumulus warns of a storm's birth. Thin cirrus strands foretell a change in weather. The flat calm of a straightest sky says rest, stay still. Farmers, sailors, wanderers, all once read the clouds like books, trusting their signs to know what tomorrow would bring. The sky is still writing those messages now, just as it always has. You only need to look up, breathe, and remember that every pattern is part of a greater rhythm. The scent of rain before the first drop falls, the wind carries a smell, clean, earthy, electric. That scent, called petrichor, is born when rain touches dry soil, releasing oils and spores that rise into the air. It's a signal that the world is about to drink, that life is about to begin again. We are wired to love that smell because, deep in our memory, it means survival. When you breathe it in, you are sharing an instinct as old as life itself, the quiet joy of renewal. The sky at night, the air becomes glass, revealing the stars. Light travels for millions of years to reach your eyes, ancient starlight, whispering stories of birth and death across the cosmos. The air bends that light slightly, making stars shimmer as though they were alive. To lie beneath a night sky is to look backward in time, to witness the history of creation still unfolding. The air between you and those stars carries not distance, but connection, the vast, invisible bridge between the small and the infinite. The circle of the wind moves in cycles, rising at the equator, falling at the poles, circling endlessly like breath. What begins as a tropical breeze may someday return as a cool northern gust. This circulation keeps the world balanced, moving heat and life where they are needed. The same air that rushes through mountain passes may someday fill your lungs. You are not separate from this movement. You are part of the planet's breathing, every inhale and exhale tied to the pulse of wind. The stillness of air, even air that doesn't move, is alive. In a quiet room you may not feel it, but the molecules are dancing, vibrating, colliding, whispering in silence. Every moment, billions of invisible particles are in motion, filling space with unseen life. The still air around you is never empty. It's a calm ocean of energy, carrying the faintest echoes of your breath, the scent of your skin, the warmth of your body. In that stillness, everything connects. The wind that carves over centuries. Wind can carve stone like water, sculpting arches, spires, and canyons from the patience of time. It does not rush, it does not shout, it simply persists, carrying dust and grain until mountains yield. In those shapes, the curves of cliffs, the hollows of caves, you can see the fingerprint of the air itself. It is proof that even the softest force, given enough time, can shape the hardest matter. The wind teaches that gentleness is not weakness, but endurance made graceful. The breath of the forest, every forest breathes, exhaling oxygen by day, inhaling carbon by night. The air that moves between leaves is not just movement but communication. Trees release scents and signals through the breeze, warning each other of drought, insects, and change. The forest wind carries language we cannot hear, but that every living thing understands. When you walk through the woods and feel air moving softly between branches, you are walking through conversation, an invisible dialogue that keeps the world alive. The wind's farewell as dusk falls, the day's warmth fades, and the wind begins to rest. It slows, softens, and sighs across the fields like a weary traveler returning home. The last breezes of evening are different, gentler, cooler, full of the sense of night. In that fading motion, you can almost hear a whisper, a promise that even the restless air finds peace when the world grows quiet. The wind does not vanish. It only dreams, waiting for dawn to rise and wake it once again. The quiet strength beneath your feet, beneath the thin layer of soil you walk upon, lies the oldest stillness on earth. The ground holds the bones of mountains and the memory of oceans long gone. It moves slower than time, shaping continents with patience beyond comprehension. Every step you take presses against rock that has been here for hundreds of millions of years. Silent, enduring, listening. The earth's crust hums quietly, a vibration too deep for the ear but felt in the body's core, a rhythm older than life itself. When you stand still, you join that rhythm. Your breath becomes part of a heartbeat that began before sound, before thought, before memory. The language of soil is not just dirt. It is living language. Beneath the surface, countless roots and organisms weave a conversation of exchange and renewal. A teaspoon of soil can contain more living beings than there are people on Earth. Fungi whisper through microscopic filaments, passing signals from one tree to another, carrying food, warning of drought, even sharing water when one branch of the forest thirsts. The ground is alive with unseen generosity. When you rest your hands upon it, you touch a community that never sleeps. The hum of creation continuing quietly below, turning what falls into what grows. The patience of stone is time made visible. Every rock you see, whether smooth and river-worn or jagged and raw, began as something else. It has been melted, crushed, cooled, and reformed countless times, each transformation a page in the planet's vast autobiography. A single pebble might have once been part of a mountain's heart, then drifted through a glacier, then lain hidden beneath a sea. The stillness of stone is not lifeless. It is the slow pulse of eternity, the patience of a world that changes at its own quiet pace. To touch stone is to touch endurance itself, an ancient calm that has waited for your touch since before the first sunrise. The breathing earth, though it seems solid, the earth breathes. Its crust expands and contracts with heat, pressure, and time. Volcanoes exhale molten breath from its lungs. Mountains rise like slow sighs, and valleys form where the planet exhales in surrender. Even the desert sands move like the slow shifting of skin. This breathing happens on scales too vast for the human eye. Ages pass between each inhale and exhale. Yet, when the wind moves across fields or the ground trembles faintly beneath you, you are feeling the echo of the planet's living respiration. The heart of the mountain, deep within every mountain, heat still flickers, the glow of the earth's inner fire reaching upward. Mountains are the bones of the world, thrust into the sky by invisible hands of pressure and time. They grow so slowly that to us they seem eternal, yet even now they rise, grain by grain, lifted by the planet's heartbeat. When clouds crown their peaks and mist curls around their edges, it is as if the earth itself is dreaming. To look upon a mountain is to gaze at the stillness of strength, motion frozen in grace, endurance shaped by fire. The sleep of seeds. Inside every seed lies a promise, a small, perfect map of a future it cannot yet see. Some seeds sleep for years, even centuries, waiting for the right whisper of rain or the right kiss of sunlight to awaken. Beneath the soil, they rest in quiet darkness, untouched and unhurried. Their patience is profound. They do not doubt, they do not fear. When the moment comes, they simply grow. From silence, they become color. From stillness, they become life. Every tree, every blade of grass, every bloom that has ever existed began as a sleeper beneath the ground, dreaming of the sky. The hidden roots of forests. If you could see beneath the forest floor, you would find a web of roots connecting everything. Trees, mosses, fungi, flowers, all speaking in the chemical language of cooperation. Through this hidden network, old trees feed the young, and dying ones offer their final nutrients back to the soil. The forest is not a collection of individuals but a single living being, breathing through millions of tiny mouths in the soil. When you walk through a forest, the ground below your feet recognizes your presence, softly, silently, as part of its greater rhythm. The dust of stars. The soil beneath you contains fragments of the stars. The iron in your blood, the calcium in your bones, the minerals in the dirt. All were born in the heart of dying suns, scattered across the cosmos, and gathered into this planet over billions of years. When you pick up a handful of earth, you are holding the residue of starlight. The ground is not separate from the sky. It is its continuation, the cooled, patient form of celestial fire. To lie down upon it is to rest in the arms of the universe that made you. The colors of the ground. Every hue of earth tells a story. Red soil remembers iron and fire. Black soil recalls rich decay and rebirth. White sands remember the grinding of shells beneath an ancient sea. The ground paints with minerals, layering time into color. When you walk barefoot upon it, you feel those stories. Cool clay, warm dust, soft moss, each texture a whisper from a different age of the planet. The earth wears its history not in scars, but in shades. The slow dance of continents. Even the continents drift, gliding upon molten currents far below. Though the movement is slow, just a few inches a year, it never stops. Mountains rise and oceans widen. Islands appear and vanish again. The world is never truly still. It simply moves at a rhythm too deep for our eyes. The ground beneath you is not fixed, but flowing. An immense, patient migration that has been shaping the face of the earth for hundreds of millions of years. When you lie down to sleep, you are resting on a planet quietly, gently, eternally in motion. The first flame fire was born from friction, the meeting of energy and resistance, the spark between opposites. Long before human hands ever tamed it, fire danced in the heart of storms, in the molten breath of the earth, in the lightning that touched dry grass and turned night to gold. It is both creator and destroyer, purifier and renewer. Every flame you see today carries the memory of those ancient beginnings, that first shimmer of light breaking through darkness. Fire is movement visible, energy revealing itself as beauty. When you stare into a candle's glow, you are watching time made radiant, a moment of the sun's ancient fire reborn in miniature, flickering softly in your presence. The language of light is the oldest storyteller. Every beam that reaches your eyes has traveled across unimaginable distances, carrying tales of where it has been. From the deep fire of the sun, the distant gleam of stars, the reflected glow of the moon. Some of that light began its journey long before there were humans to see it, even before the earth existed. When it touches your skin, it tells you of the stars' quiet persistence, their endless radiance across time. Light is the language through which the universe expresses its love. Wordless, constant, infinite. The hidden fire within. There is fire inside you too. Not of flame but of life. Every heartbeat is powered by tiny electrical sparks. Every cell alive with miniature lightning. You are not separate from the energy of the world. You are made of it. The same forces that burn in the core of stars flow through your veins as warmth. When you breathe deeply, that heat moves softly within. The quiet glow that keeps you alive. A reminder that the spark of existence burns in all things, seen and unseen. The dance of shadows. Without light, there could be no shadow. and without shadow, no depth. The dark shapes that stretch and sway beneath trees or across your floor are not emptiness, but balance. They are where light chooses to rest. Every shadow reveals shape, form, and movement, reminding us that illumination and obscurity are partners, not opposites. Even the soft twilight at day's end is a tender handshake between light and night, the world's most gentle transition, a reminder that nothing ever truly disappears. It simply changes hue. The sleep of fire, even fire must rest. After burning bright, it softens into embers, small glowing memories of heat that breathe in silence. Watch how the coals dim, then flare again like the slow rhythm of a sleeping creature. The ashes that remain are not an end but a new beginning, the minerals that once burned returning to nourish the ground. Fire teaches the cycle of renewal, how to give, to glow, and then to let go. Lightning's gentle truth lightning may seem fierce, but it is only nature trying to restore balance. It is the moment the sky releases tension, the earth catching the sky's outstretched hand. Each bolt lights the world for the briefest instant, revealing the contours of storm clouds, the shimmer of rain, the flash of possibility. That power, so sudden, so pure, is not chaos but correction. Even the fiercest moments in nature are acts of balance seeking peace. The colors of flame. A flame is never just orange. It's a dance of chemistry, temperature, and air. Blue reveals purity, where the heat burns clean. Orange speaks of warmth and comfort. Red, the color of embers, is the final whisper before rest. To watch fire is to witness transformation in motion, elements changing state, turning solid to light, matter to memory. It's no wonder humans once worshipped it. To stare into flame is to gaze into the secret heart of change itself. The fire beneath the ocean, even in the deepest sea, fire lives. Along the ocean floor, hydrothermal vents spew water so hot it glows, yet around them thrive entire worlds of strange life. Creatures that have never seen sunlight feed on heat instead of light, drawing life from the planet's core. It is proof that energy, in its many forms, always finds a way to sustain existence. Even where there is no light, there is warmth. Even in the deepest darkness, life burns softly on. The warmth of the sun, the warmth you feel on your skin, is ancient light. Photons born in the heart of the sun millions of years ago, finally arriving at Earth after their long journey through space. The sun's energy feeds every living thing, every tree, every seed, every breath you take. The sunlight of this very day will become part of you. The atoms it touches will help your body create energy, thought, and life. When you close your eyes beneath sunlight, you are greeting the same fire that gave birth to everything you've ever known. The glow of night, even when the sun sets, the world does not lose its light, merely softens. The moon gathers the sun's reflection, stars begin their ancient shimmer, and the horizon glows with the last breath of day. Darkness is not the absence of light, but its resting form, a place where brightness sleeps. The night invites you to do the same, to let your own energy dim gently, not vanish, but rest until dawn. The fire inside the earth beneath your feet, a core of molten iron spins, glowing hotter than the surface of the sun. That hidden fire keeps the planet alive, generating the magnetic field that shields all life from solar winds, guiding birds in migration, even influencing the dance of the auroras in the sky. Though we live far above it, every one of us feels its presence in subtle ways. In the pull of gravity, the hum of stability, the quiet warmth beneath cold ground. The planet's heart beats with flame, and you are part of its pulse. The gift of warmth fire became humanity's first comfort. Around it, we learned to gather, to share food, to tell stories that became the roots of language. The flicker of flame taught us safety, taught us connection. That same glow now lives in lamps, in homes, in the soft hum of electric light. Warmth is not just temperature. It is the feeling of belonging, of presence. When you sit near a fire, ancient instincts awaken, the peace of knowing you are safe in the circle of light. The energy of change, everything you see, every movement, every breath, every flicker, is the transfer of energy from one form to another. The fire that burns would releases sunlight captured long ago. The waves that crash upon a shore are powered by winds that began with warmth from the sun. Even your thoughts are tiny currents of energy flowing through the brain. The universe is not still. It is always transforming. To rest within it is to trust that motion itself can be peaceful, that change in its quiet way is the most constant form of calm. The auroras dance far above the poles. Light and magnetism meet in a celestial waltz. The auroras shimmer in colors that seem almost unreal. Greens, purples, silvers that flow like silk across the night. They are born from the Earth's invisible shield, when solar particles meet air and paint the sky in gentle fire. Watching them feels like witnessing the heartbeat of the planet made visible, a reminder that even the coldest nights can bloom with color and grace. The flame of stars, every star you see is a sun, a ball of nuclear fire burning in the endless dark, turning simple hydrogen into the building blocks of everything you are. Those lights in the sky are not just distant, they are ancient mirrors showing what once was. Some of their light began its journey before humans ever existed, and only now has it reached your eyes. When you look up, you are seeing both history and eternity, a message written in light sent across time. The cooling ember of time, the universe itself began in heat, a blinding fire that has since cooled for billions of years, expanding into calmness. Galaxies formed, stars were born and died, and still the cosmos drifts gently outward, like an ember glowing in infinite dark. What began in explosion now moves in silence. Time, it seems, is the process of energy learning to rest. The gentle fire of thought, your mind, too, is fire. Each idea is a small flare, a spark that lights within your brain and fades into the quiet hum of memory. Thought is electrical energy, alive, flickering, beautiful. Even as you drift towards sleep, tiny sparks still glow behind your closed eyes, turning experience into dreams, dreams into calm. Inside the quiet, your inner fire continues to burn softly, keeping you tethered to life's glow. The eternal flame in every transformation. Fire to ash, light to shadow, warmth to cool. Nothing is ever truly lost. Energy changes form, but it never disappears. The warmth that leaves a flame becomes air that rises. The glow that fades becomes darkness that rests. The cycle continues endlessly, each ending feeding a new beginning. When you release tension, when you let go into sleep, you are part of that same transformation, energy simply shifting into stillness. The last spark before rest as night deepens, the fires of the day fade one by one. Lamps dim, stars settle, hearts slow. Yet in this quiet, something sacred remains. A faint spark, the core of your being, glowing softly beneath thought. It does not demand, it does not burn, it simply is. That spark is your peace, your light, your essence. When you close your eyes, it guides you inward, toward the warmth of stillness, the quiet flame of the universe. And so, as you drift into sleep, remember that you are part of every flame, every drop, every breath. You are the air that moves, the water that flows, the earth that holds, and the fire that glows. The universe does not end outside your window. It lives through you, whispering gently in your heartbeat. Rest now in that knowing. The forces of nature, the great eternal energies of creation, cradle you in their arms. You are safe, you are infinite, and you are home to. And now, as the last ember fades and the soft breath of the earth surrounds you, everything returns to quiet. You have traveled through the forces that shape existence, through air and wind, water and flame, stone and starlight. You have listened to the planet breathe, felt the slow patience of time, and touched the hidden warmth that lives inside all things. The world, vast as it is, has never truly been separate from you. You are not a visitor here. You are part of its endless rhythm. The pulse that moves the tides moves through your veins. The light that dances in the stars flickers softly behind your eyes. The soil beneath your feet, the air in your lungs, the warmth upon your skin, all are threads in the same tapestry, woven by the quiet intelligence of nature. Now there is nothing left to learn, nothing left to do. The universe hums gently in your chest, the same hum that began before the first dawn. The wind outside has softened, the night has opened its hands, and the world is whispering its one eternal truth, that everything is connected and everything is at peace. So breathe deeply. Let the body grow heavy and the mind drift. Feel yourself dissolve into that stillness, into the hush of oceans, the glow of starlight, the soft warmth of life itself. You are safe. You are home. The earth holds you gently, and as you surrender to sleep, you become part of its dream, the quiet dream of forever.